So yesterday we kind of introduced the concept of perimeter without using the word perimeter. And yesterday we said measure the distance around the room. Now, the challenge yesterday is that the fact that I only gave you a 30 centimeter ruler. And also another challenge is that in this particular classroom, it's not perfectly rectangular, right? You knew that, you know that, good morning. Because like you had to go around and then you kind of stop and then there's a corner at the back, right? And then if you go front, there's like a little piece there. So we talked about perimeter. And what we're going to be doing today is actually doing some calculation. And we're going to talk about the two-dimensional figures, two dimension, because there's a length and the width, okay? Horizontal here. So we'll start off with the perimeter of a rectangle. So the word perimeter of a two-dimensional or flat-shaped object is the distance around the outside of it. So the distance outside. To find the perimeter of a geometric figure, add the length of all its sides. Okay, so that's a strategy. Add up all the sides. Now, looking at this rectangle, how many sides does this have? Four. So we're going to add up all its sides. So what are the sides? The thing about this rectangle is that this length is 4 centimeters here at the bottom. And that means this part here is also 4 centimeters. Likewise, if this is 2.4 centimeters, then this part here is also 2.4 centimeters. So how can we figure out the perimeter? So we're going to put perimeter. What does that say? The perimeter is the side of all the sides added up together. So it's going to be 4 plus 4 plus 2.4 plus 2.4. Okay. So perimeter is equals to 12.8. 12.8 what? Well, centimeters plus centimeter plus centimeter plus centimeter. So that's 12.8 centimeters. Okay. Can you think of another way of calculating this part? Yeah, so another possibility, yeah, that's right. Can you see how many 4s do we have? There are 2 4s, so you can say, here's another possibility. Okay, another way of looking at it. So there are 4 times 2. There's 4 centimeter, and there's 2 of them, so 4 times 2. And then 2.4. How many 2.4s? 2. And that would still give us 12.8 centimeters. And at the beginning of the semester, we talked about orders of operation, right? We talked about orders of operation. We said that when you have something like this, you have multiplication and addition going together all at once. You can multiply first, and then add after. Okay, so that's the other strategy. So here's a strategy, perfectly fine. And here's another strategy, that's also perfectly fine. Let's take a look at this one. This one here, it's called an irregular shape, meaning That's not the normal shape that we normally see. That's called irregular, not regular. Figure out the perimeter of the shape. Perimeter is the distance around. Okay, skip that for now, and then you can copy it later. Okay, let's do this one. How many sides does this have? How many sides does this have? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we were to do the perimeter is the distance around, so P. We're gonna add up all of the sides. Does it matter where you start? Does it matter the order? Not really. I see some people shaking their heads. No, the order doesn't matter here as long as we add up all of the sides. So let's do that. Okay, I'll start here at the bottom. So 3.4 plus 3.5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4.2 plus 5. We're just doing one operation here, which is adding. So we just add them together. Okay, so let's do that. 3.4 plus 3.5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4.2 plus 5. It's 23.1. So 23.1 what? Okay, what's the symbol here?
It's a foot, 12 inches.
Yeah. So that one there, that one little line there means foot. Foot, okay, or feet. That little line there, or little, what do you? Ampersand. Oh, okay. Called a tick.
The type symbol.
Yeah. And then if there's two of them, it's symbol for inches. And this is how I think about it. How many syllables does it have? 2, right? Inches. Inches. What about 1? How many syllables? Foot. So foot, 1 syllable. That's how I think about it. So in this case, okay, we can say 23.1, you can put foot with that little symbol at the top there, or we can say 23.1 feet, F-T. Is that good? Okay. So, example 1, example 2. Are there any questions? Now this is interesting because now we're getting into the circle. We're gonna get into the circle. It says here, circumference. Circumference. That's a fancy name for saying the perimeter of circle. The perimeter of circle. So the perimeter of a circle has a special name. It's called circumference. Circumference. The circumference of a circle is slightly more than 3 times the length of its diameter. The formula for the circumference is this. The symbol of this thing is called pi, which represents a number 3.1415. And then your calculator should have a pi symbol, so we could find that right away. and then make sure we use that in our formula. So determine the circumference of a circle given the diameter. Okay, well, there's quite a bit of stuff in this one here that we would like to talk about first, because I don't know if everybody's familiar with some vocabularies here. What is a diameter? Okay, what is a diameter?
The distance from the center of the circle.
The distance,
From the center of the circle.
the distance, yeah, it's a distance from, okay, I'll just put distance from one end of a circle to the other end of a circle but the special thing about this one is it has to pass through the center. So you want to go from one end of the circle to the other end, but it has to pass through the center. Okay? So I'm going to ask you if this is if you want to go from one end of the circle to the other end of the circle, but it has to pass through the center. So if this is a circle, okay, and then this is the center, is this a diameter? No, it's not, right? It's not the diameter because it doesn't pass through the center. Is this a diameter? Yes, because it's from one end of the circle to the other end, passing through the center. Okay, I'm gonna get a different pen here. Is this a diameter? The red one. Is the red? Yeah? It's from one end of a circle to the other end, passing through the center. That's a diameter. Okay. Good? So far so good? Now this one here, they didn't tell you that's that diameter, or sorry, yeah, that's a diameter because it's a center right there. So determine the circumference of a circle given the diameter. So remember, circumference is a fancy word for a perimeter of a circle. How many sides does a circle have? How many?
Two. If you fold it, then you get two.
If you fold it, you get the two. So this one and then that one. Okay. Some people says none because there's no corners, right? People say one because it's just one. Okay. That's going to be an interesting topic if we kind of dive right onto that one. Okay, maybe we'll do that some other time. But let's calculate the diameter. Sorry, calculate the circumference. Circumference is equals to, there is a formula for that. 2 pi r. Okay, interesting. So 2 times pi times r. Well, I don't see a diameter in here. This is r. R is not diameter. Then what is r? What's that?
Radius.
R is called the radius, and I think that's what Shantae was talking about earlier. So radius So radius, R. Symbol for radius is R. And what's R? R is a distance.
Shorter than diameter.
Yeah, it will be shorter than diameter. Okay,
It's half the diameter.
half the diameter. Okay.
Yeah, it's a half diameter.
Okay, okay, very nice. So how can we define the radius? The distance from where to where?
From center to
Mhm.
the corner. From here, from center
Uh-huh.
to the edge of
On the circle.
on the
Okay, okay, that's right. That's very good. So the radius is the distance from center to the
Perimeter.
end of the circle.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So from the center to the actual edge of the circle, right there. So I'm gonna ask you if this is a radius, okay? Oh, I wanna add some stuff to that, because some people added information. I can't remember who now. They said radius is what?
Is a short distance.
Is shorter than diameter,
Yes.
and
It's half the distance in diameter. It's
Half.
The distance to the center of the circle.
yeah. So
From
the
center
the
to
ra-
the edge. Of
right. So the radius is half of diameter. Right. So once we know the diameter, we can just cut it in half, take 1/2 of it, and that's your radius. Okay, so in this formula, circumference is equals to 2 times pi times r,
The circumference is around the circle.
around a circle. Yeah,
Is
that's
that
right.
around the circle?
Okay, so we're gonna follow the recipe, follow the formula. So 2 times, okay, I'm just gonna put the times symbol there. Pi, we're gonna do the pi later, times r. What do you think the r is in this case? The radius is from center to the end, center of the circle to the edge, right there. So if this is 6, the whole thing is 6, then that means radius must be 3.
The
Radius
C
is 3.
Hypronouns.
Circumference. Circumference. Yeah,
It's not,
circumference.
we read about hypronouns. Hypronouns.
How do you pronounce it?
When we had the triangle where we was the height one. is
Hypotenuse?
Hypotenuse.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're not going to get confused with that one.
Oh,
Yeah. So let's take a look. First, can you locate where your pi button is? Pi button. Okay, did everybody locate their pi button? Mine is right here. Pi button.
right.
Pi key.
Top line, second
Oh, you have it?
18.85.
You got it. Okay. Did Yeah, all good. Anybody here who did not find the pi key? Pi button.
Jamar, did you find it? That's a high-tech one.
Shift.
Okay.
It looked funny.
So now let's take a look. Let's type in 2 times the pi button. We're going to use the pi button. Okay. 2 times pi times 3. Okay. So it's going to be 18 18.85 what? What's the unit? The unit is centimeters. cm. Okay? So this one would be showing your work,
Pi.
showing your calculation, and then finding the final answer.
We can get the same answer, just multiplying 6 times pi.
Yes. Yes, that's right. That's right. You get, so this is an interesting one. Okay. So here's the other formula for circumference. I know that they wrote down 2 pi r in the top. You can do 2 pi r. But interesting enough, somebody said, Ben said, circumference is the same thing as pi times d. Pi times d. Okay. Why does this work?
Does the calculator automatically recognize what you type in?
Okay, let's see here. C is equals to pi times d. What's the d? The d is 6. And if we do that, we're going to come up with 18.85 centimeters as well.
But if you just do the 6 centimeters and the pi without putting the times in it, you also get the
Okay,
number.
yeah. Because your calculator recognizes that it's a multiplication.
That's the number.
Okay. Now, can you look at these two formula only? You got 2 times pi times r, and then you got pi times d. Why are they the same? C is equals to 2 times pi times r.
Because radius is only half the size of the diameter, you're multiplying it by 2 anyway, so
Say that again.
it's the radius is half the diameter, so if you multiply it by 2, like the equation, plus pi, you get the same thing as just multiplying pi as the whole diameter.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if everybody heard you, right? Because you don't have the microphone. Would you like to say that when you have the mic? Oh,
you go ahead.
no. It's like, no. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, no. Yeah. Okay, here we go. If we double the radius, you take this one and this one. When you multiply together, what does that give you? You got 2 radius, 2 times radius. This gives you the diameter.
As a diameter.
Yeah. So now, that's why
Or
This
as a
one works.
radius.
so you get pi times diameter. So you combine the 2 times r, because this is your, we got a radius and another radius. So you got 2 radiuses. Well, what does 2 radiuses look like? That's a diameter, right? So 2 radiuses will make up 1 diameter. So we can say, hey, that's just a d. So C is equals to pi times d. That's pretty interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the last example, and I'll give you some time to work. Determine the circumference of a circle given the radius. Okay, so circumference is 2 times pi. I'm gonna go times pi times r. So 2 times pi times the radius of 10. So 2, clear everything. So 2 times pi times 10. It's going to give us 62 and 0.83 meters. Circumference is the distance around, and that if the radius is 10, it's going to be 62.83. Is that okay? So that concludes that lesson. There are some questions here on page 1, or no, page 3 rather, on assignment 1. Certainly try these ones. And then this one here. It says one tricky one. Well, I'm sure you
Missing.
could try it. Okay? So give it a try. Oh, okay, I can hear some people already talking about the tricky one. Okay, so I'll leave that with you. I'll leave the notes up here if you need them.